I did it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Look at me go.
That's, I love that. A great way to start a new year with a franchise that we started in 2023. But you know what? It's fine. But hello, and welcome to the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I finished my coffee that I was drinking earlier, so I'm just drinking water because hydration is incredibly important.
Mama, it's January. Gotta say it every time we start the pod for the new year. Did it last year, and it's gonna be a tradition now. My name is Dawn Stone. I am Tampa's Galaxy Gamer Girl. I am also drinking water, but it's out of this mug that I got out of this cup I got at Goodwill. And I washed it, and it kind of looks like a Cece's Pizza cup, and I was like, work.
I know that exact reference, and that makes me very happy.
Me too. I've been to Cece's several times.
We stand.
Mm-hmm.
Their mac and cheese pizza. Add some bacon to it.
No, because now I want to make mac and cheese pizza.
So good.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. In honor of Evil Lemon, I decided to wear my lemon shirt. What have we learned?
Nothing.
Good work, Evil Lemon.
But I am drinking some water.
Work. And hello, hi y'all. What's going on? I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently drinking hot chocolate, but I am drinking it out of my cup mug. I could have used. Oh no! See what happens.
Oh, and it froze. Oh my gosh!
Now we froze
so
on
mad
the
I need a screenshot of
behind.
that.
That's crazy.
We're not off to a great January.
Right.
Yeah, January is falling
It's in the
flat.
wash.
Oh, January.
Oh,
it's not starting
January is ruined.
You ruined it. But it's okay. We know you have it, Dawn, so therefore I'm very happy. But you can get your cup mug like all of us have our cup mugs at lanagscreations.etsy.com, where the link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically in the US, so there are no excuses. And I'm looking at you, Canada. I'm looking at all of you. Get your cup mug or any of our cup merch, period. And this hot chocolate is helping my throat because for some reason I don't have a voice. We love that, don't we? Good. Great way to start off January.
Great way
2024.
Yes. Happy New Year to everyone. First video we're filming in 2024. First video we're dropping in 2024. But yes, we are back. It is Canada's Drag Race Season 4, Episode 7. We have 2 more episodes this season, and it feels weird.
I want to explore more.
I want like a full 12-episode season from Canada.
No, fully down.
Because I think this season has been pretty good on a whole, and we've had a lot of moments, a lot of mothering. I will go ahead and say right off the top, this may be my least favorite episode of the season, but I did still enjoy a lot of it. So,
Can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts about it because I have some.
I think we all do, and we all have very differing opinions, which I'm excited about. But
oh yes.
So we had a couple people here.
But first,
make sure to subscribe, because subscribing is so in for the new year.
Period.
It lights up.
Liking is so in for the new year. Sharing with your friends, so in for 2024. So
you should make that your New Year's resolution that you actually stick to doing. Period.
Yes. So, and we have 2 other channels you can subscribe to and support as well for almost all things reality TV and almost all things Eurovision Song Contest. And if you want to support us a little bit more, the YouTube thanks button is available down there as well if you'd like to support us in a monetary fashion, and we do greatly appreciate it. But yes, I was going to say, as we are coming off of the heels of the Lip Sync Slay-Off extravaganza, Lana and David did miss that last week. So I wanted to know whether you wanted either a moment or giving quick thoughts about your thoughts on the Lip Sync Slay-Off.
I mean, I would gladly take a moment because I haven't been here since episode 2.
I was also going to say, David, it's been a minute.
Oh,
So I'm happy to give you a minute
yeah.
to have your moment. So
Okay, I'll take it.
This is your moment! Have it!
Well, I do think this is a pretty fun season. I actually really like the Golden Beaver twist. I wouldn't mind seeing it in other franchises as well. But I think that this has been a great cast of queens. I've liked pretty much everybody. Have I loved anybody? Honestly, not quite. I feel like everybody's kind of incomplete. Like there's just a little something missing from each person, and it's different for each person as well. I think Melinda's everything. She's been so fun to watch. If she had not been on this season, and I was worried she'd be a first out, it would be so boring. I also really kind of disagreed with the results from last week's playoff. I thought Kiki was the one going based on that final lip sync. I'm so sad that Kitten's not here anymore. I was glad to see Nearah get. Oh my gosh, Nearah blew my mind with those lip syncs. Like some of my favorite lip syncs of all year. Really, that whole episode was just really good.
purr. And purr and purr and purr. Lana, would you like your moment?
I don't need the whole moment because I've been here for most of them, but
Great.
I only missed really last week. So, but I'll say this: the lip sync off was kind of amazing. It was really good. I had a chance to go back and watch it. I didn't get to watch it before we did the lip sync end of year. I didn't get to watch it before that, but after we finished, I went back and watched it, and I was very impressed. I thought it was so good. Nearah deserved. Honestly, truly, hands down, deserved. What her and Aurora Matrix did at that last one was incredible. I even watched that before the lip sync, and that made it on my list at the very last minute because it was that good. So, yeah, that was good. I am sad to see Kitten go. I'm sad to see Amy Yonsei go. Honestly, I thought they were both really like important parts to the show, but I agree with you, David. I don't think Kitten should have gone. I think Kiki probably should have gone from last week's thing. Maybe, probably, possibly, but it is what it is. I'm sure Kitten is going to do amazing things anyway, and so is Amy Yonsei, and this season has been great. So that's it.
And speaking of our favorite,
That was probably a minute.
Yeah, it was honestly.
Shut up, David. I don't need any commentary from you, David. Like, seriously, none. Absolutely none.
Ooh.
Out for 2024, David commentary.
I'm kidding.
No, we
I'm
love
kidding.
David.
You're
We love
probably-
David.
you're probably-
trap door.
No.
Oh no, I would never
Come on.
do that. G.
2024, more like 2020 trap door.
Oh, cute.
That was
I would
good.
never do that. That was really good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yo.
And speaking of the lip sync rankings, if you want to see all of our favorite lip syncs of the year, make sure to go check out our top lip syncs of 2023 video available right there. Right above Dawn. Somewhere over there above Dawn. But yes, we come back. We have lost Amy and Kitten. I'm still depressed over it, quite honestly. And we move.
Because
They
did.
moved. They did. They said, we're moving. And we move into next day in the workroom. They come in. It's a normal day in the workroom. And Brooke comes in for a really fun mini challenge because, we have to do our contractually obligated Trojan-sponsored mini challenge every season. And so this time we're doing a sex advice show, reading off of a teleprompter. and this was stupid.
It was
And
so
this is
good.
why I love Canada Mini Challenge.
Before
And
we
this
get
is
to
why.
Oh, sorry. Before we get to the mini challenge, when they were told they have 5 minutes, this is probably one of my favorite lines from the whole season. Venus says, "If I can douche in 5 minutes, I can do anything in 5 minutes."
Girl, I wish I could. That is a talent, and I'm glad. I'm happy for her, but I'm also very envious of that fact.
I don't trust it.
Who knows?
And you know what I also loved about this challenge? The name Siobhan. That was my favorite part
Sayabin.
of this entire
Sayabin.
Soybon.
Soybon.
The way Nearah Nuff just said it was so much.
Thanks for the
intention.
call, Soybon.
And the way she just looked with that fuck ass bob on her head and went, Soybon. It's sent me
Soybon. It's
ordering.
Soybon.
Soybon. Like nobody knew. Sioban, I think, is what Denim said. So funny.
It just all of the Irish people listening and watching this mini challenge were probably just cringing.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I thought it was fun. This is another improv mini challenge, which I think is an interesting way to do the improv challenges for this season because we haven't really had any other improv challenge. But we got basically a whole improv challenge throughout the season with these mini challenges. I agreed with the winner of the challenge personally. I don't know about anybody else, but
Yeah, I did too. Another line I liked was when Nearah had the question about like, oh, is it manly to bottom? And she says, bottoming is not a demanualizing state.
I love demanualizing.
Yeah, love a good demanualization.
Mm-hmm.
And Nearah hasn't been someone that's been super strong in improv mini challenges either, but I thought she did pretty decently in this one.
I honestly don't think anybody did bad in this. I was like impressed with pretty much everybody. It was kind of funny. Everybody had a moment in the challenge where I was like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. So
And then Denim climbing onto the desk. I was like, work.
I love that.
Honestly, I would have been happy with this being a main challenge. If it was that funny. You know, like if they had time to get in drag and like do that, I would have lived.
Like you could do a whole, like you could do it a la, I'm thinking of like the morning show challenge from Drag Race UK. You could do something along those lines where there's like a bunch of different segments. You have hosts.
Right.
Like this could be a full challenge. I agree. I think I would like to see it as a full challenge.
In the whole season, I've been looking at Venus and I'm like, who do you remind me of? And it's like a celebrity, like a woman celebrity. And it finally clicked in this mini challenge. I'm like, oh, you look like Rebecca Gayheart. She looks so much like her to me.
Okay, sure.
Which is a compliment because she's
I'm on that wavelength. I see it. I see it. And speaking of Venus, she wins the mini challenge. So
good on her.
Work, Venus. And
Venus being a comedy queen was not what I expected for this season.
Venus being a comedy queen, not what I expected, and I also love it.
Same.
And she wins something. Money?
Probably.
She wins money. She wins money, and she wins
money and
500
a shit ton of condoms.
I could go through that in a week.
She was actually that in a week. I was like, ooh, $500 worth, girl. All right.
Well, seeing the photo she's posting on socials, I understand why.
I mean, work, boo.
Mama Venus, you wear sweatpants.
If you haven't, I would highly recommend going and following Venus, specifically on Twitter.
I mean,
maybe not Lana, but
Lana can appreciate too.
I'll keep my thoughts to myself. Thank you.
Lana can also appreciate. So if you're Lana specifically, also go follow Venus.
I have to say, please stop making me out.
She is a good Christian woman.
I am, but I have not been saved my whole life. Look, I have not been saved my whole life. So,
she is still a sexual being.
Yes,
exactly. And I'm an ally.
Ally.
In for 2024, allies.
Valentina is in for 2024. Talk, Valentina.
Ally.
But
yes, we move on to the Maxi Challenge, which is the unauthorized Brooke Lynn Hytes musical, not rusical. We got to make sure that it's not a rusical. because it's not a rusical.
Well, why did the episode title say Rusical?
Rusical,
I
right?
don't know. I couldn't tell you, but they said musical the whole time, and I was like, "Oh, that's different." Okay.
I think they were like really trying to separate from the RuPaul franchise of it all, even though
It
RuPaul
seems like they're trying to completely differentiate themselves, and I'm here for it.
Yet
Mhm.
remind us about everything that happened in season 11.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I
We're
mean,
going-
they had to, I guess, for this
the unauthorized
specific challenge.
biography. But I mean, they've been doing that since the beginning with the whole. I mean, this is one of the franchises where Anastasia Beverly Hills is not one of the sponsors. That was like they're getting their stuff from a superstore, like a drug. I'm like a drugstore.
So Shoppers Drug Mart is like their equivalent, from what I understand, of like a CVS.
Norvina learned too many languages. She couldn't learn Canadian.
Stop it!
Canadian
Stop it!
English.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Oh my god! Thank you. But I was wondering. I was like, so their version of we getting drugstore makeup.
Hey, drugstore
like-
makeup is sickening now.
Some
Yes,
of it is good.
From
Some
what
of
I
it is good.
understand, it's like a CVS with like Sephora level makeup. That's what I understand it to be. Canadians in the comments, please correct me. But
Please,
that's
if
at
we're
least
wrong.
my interpretation of it. It's like it's a big deal, and like I know a lot of the Canada's Drag Race girls have been like, oh yeah, I still routinely buy makeup from Shoppers Drug Mart. So like,
Right.
I thought you were saying I steal.
Not I steal. I steal from Shoppers.
I know a lot of the Canada's Drag Race girls have said that they steal from Shoppers Drug Mart. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Kathia? No, I'm kidding.
Allegedly.
I'm not accusing Kathia of anything. Absolutely.
Allegedly.
Everything is alleged
Everything is
information.
alleged here.
It says it right there on the screen as I'm
Everything
saying
says it.
things right now.
Thea has a whole drag family to feed
Right.
and makeup.
Including half of Denim's looks.
Oh,
Well,
well.
actually, Pythia does come up this week, and we'll talk about Pythia later. But that wasn't. I didn't mean that to be shady. Pythia made a lot of stuff for Denim this season. But we go to choose our roles, because it's just like, here, have free reign over the roles that you want to choose. And we end up with a full audition for the ingenue part.
Was it really an audition? Nearah kind of just sat there. Was like,
It was Nearah sitting on the couch. It was Denim standing up, giving like 70%, and it was Melinda going ha ha, like fully performing it. And I'm just like, okay, girl.
Honestly, they should have given it a second try, because I don't think everybody was prepared for like, oh, how hard are we going to go? Like, clearly the other two didn't know Melinda was going to like go so extreme with the audition, and props to Melinda.
But they could also have adjusted their performance mid-performance,
True.
looking over and seeing what Melinda did.
True.
Exactly. I would, if you really want something, you just go start doing it. And it was clear Melinda really wanted this little boy part, and so she was like, I'm gonna go all out for the little boy part, and I'm gonna take it there. And everybody else was kind of like, I mean, I guess I want it, maybe. And it was like, and they showed it in their audition, so it was like, well.
So you mean the Megan part, Lana?
Yeah, because the
memes
We'll get there.
have been made. The memes
We'll
are
get
online.
I
there.
did not even think about that.
I did immediately.
Oh yeah, immediately. I was like,
That's
The
Megan.
edits are there. They've already like turned her name into the Megan
M3L1NDA.
Yep, they've already done it. So
it's so funny, but
it's
yeah,
very
I thought about it.
entertaining.
But it was entertaining and scary at the same time. I was like, "Oh, see, this is why I didn't go to see the movie, because I don't like that. I don't like it."
Mhm.
But that's
No,
just
thank
me.
you.
You
Yeah,
can
thank
handle
you.
it, Lana. It's not that bad.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. I'm with Lana. The left side here, I don't know about Dawn, but the left side of the panel today, no, thank you.
No, thank you. I don't.
I'll
need
hold down the horror fort if I have to.
Yeah, because
I don't watch horror movies. I've never even watched Megan. I just see
So
Megan as a horror meme.
So
Because I know who Megan is.
So the top
majority
line
of them-
and the left side of the panel today is like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. And David is like, sure. And we're
Mhm.
like, you have it. Mhm.
Yes, David. This
Oh,
is
yes.
your moment, David.
This is your
He
moment,
already
King.
had his moment. Don't
I
give
watched
him
at
another
least-
one. He already had his.
This
I
is your
watched at
moment,
least 200
King.
horror movies last year alone.
Yes, that is
Including
your moment,
Megan.
King. Have it. Have it.
Good. I love too that we're going through everything and like the roles are being parsed out, and we get to the sorry not sorry parody situation, and everyone is just like Nearah.
I mean, she was the only one that
Nearah.
could have really done it, if we're being completely honest.
I think there's one other person that could have done it.
Aurora could have done
Aurora
it,
could have
Yes.
done it. Aurora
but not
could
as
have
well
done it.
as we'll get to
Nearah.
how well Nearah did.
We'll
But-
get there because I have thoughts and feelings, and I'm gonna yell at Brooke Lynn a little bit. But Nearah's like, well, I guess I'm
guess.
taking this role. She's like,
I guess.
okay, guess it's me. And then we go through all of them.
I'm curious before we get past sorry not sorry. Lana, have you seen that lip sync with Evie and Brooklyn? Brooklyn and Evie?
I think I did. Maybe.
It's the one
not.
where it's
I
like full on
might have-
Circus Soleil.
I might have
Yeah.
shown it to you.
I
You know
will
what?
say-
Yes.
I
Yeah,
will
we
say
watched
it's
it
my
all
favorite
together.
lip sync ever in Drag Race.
Oh,
It is
Yes.
mine too.
So
It's
I was
mine.
excited for this.
mine actually comes from Canada's Drag Race, so
Oh.
we're all on. Mine is
Season 11
Kiara.
was-
Mine's Kiara and Priyanka.
I'll work. My season 11 was my first ever season, so that I ever watched of Drag Race. So like that specific lip sync means a lot to me in terms of like nostalgia for learning about what drag is. So seeing it kind of have an homage on Canada, like really just like brought me back there, and I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually don't remember seeing it. So
Well,
I'm gonna say
show it
no
to
for
you.
now.
We'll show it to you
I'll-
again.
I'll show you.
Because now Lana is in her second year of being a Drag Race fan. Ooh.
Of being a Drag Race watcher.
Sure.
Because I don't look.
She's I'm still not a fan.
I'm still coming around to the fan part. I'm a
Oh,
watcher.
I thought I was joking.
Ooh.
No, you're
Thinking about what
very-
happened. Thinking about what happened at the couple awards about
You're
Bernie,
very
I would
honest.
say otherwise.
No, I'm a Bernie fan. Stan. That's obvious. But am I a Drag Race fan? We're still running. We're still working on that. I'm a watcher though. Advent.
Okay.
You're a fan of drag. Drag Race? We'll get
Yes, I'm a fan of drag because I do appreciate the art of drag. I appreciate how much work it goes into doing what they do. I appreciate. I'm an ally, so of course I'm a fan of the art of drag. Now, all the drag races, tentative.
Fair enough. Fair enough and understood. But yes, we go to we get walk-arounds with Brooke, or walk-tos with Brooke, more like it. And it's interesting to me that in this moment where Brooke is talking to Nearah, finding out that she's doing the sorry not sorry moment, Brooke is like, well, I just hope that we get to see something different than what we saw last week. As if she's the one choreographing this number. As if she has any say in the dancing that she's doing in this number. As if she really had any choice on what part she was going to do, because she's quite literally the only person that could have done this role successfully.
Okay, here is where I have a problem. Why I might differentiate with you on that.
Okay.
Because, well, when we see the actual performance,
Mm-hmm.
we see Nearah doing the exact same things that she did last week. Now,
Yeah.
did they choreograph that into there? I don't know if he choreographed that or not. But if this was a competition for my life in this competition,
Uh-huh.
and if he did choreograph the same moves that I did last week, I would say, excuse me, Mr. Choreographer, they need to see something different from me. And I just did all of these moves last week. So could we choreograph something different that I could throw in there that's not the exact same thing? You have to be the author of your own fate. You can't let other people define your fate. So if I see I'm doing, as we're going through the choreography, and I'm like, I did a flip into this butt thing, into this split thing, and I just did that last week. And Brooklyn just said they want to see something different from me. It is up to you as a performer to say, excuse me, Mr. Choreographer, no harm, no, much respect to your choreography. It's great. But I just did that last week, and I need them to see something different from me this week. So can we work something out where it's not the same as last week, so I can do something different? That's on you. That's not on the choreographer. That's on you as the performer. So we have to give Nearah, she has to take responsibility for her own performance as well. Even though it's a choreographed performance, you can still have a say-so into not changing his whole choreography, just parts. Just say, could we do a different thing and not in the same sequence that I did last week? Because those moves were the exact same moves that she did last week. And I don't know if he put
she did a lot of the exact same moves Brooke Lynn did in that lip sync.
I'm about to say, but and that's great. But if the order of the sequence that she did it was the same as the sequence that she did it last week,
but she just did 4 lip syncs in a row. It's hard not to repeat a lot of the same things.
But not in the same order, David. I'm not saying you can't repeat the moves, just not in the same order that you did it. And it was like in that one lip sync, we saw the same 4 moves that she did in one song of the lip sync last week.
The thing is, in that lip sync, there are a lot of very iconic moments.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very iconic moments that she did.
Were those 4 moves?
There's this one. There, like in Brooke Lynn's lip sync, I'm saying, where she did this turn to a drop, like right onto her knees, where she hit her back on the ground, or she could have done the whole split on her head thing. Like there was a lot of things that she could have done that she didn't do that are like very iconic Brooke Lynn Hytes moments that I feel like were not represented in the dances that she showed. She showed a lot of moves that she did personally in the last lip sync, whether they were in the same order or not. They were not what Brooke Lynn did in that lip sync, and if she would, I would have preferred her just copying the choreography that Brooke Lynn did, even
exactly
in some of those moments. But
because,
that's just personally me.
I mean, and I agree. In a musical of someone's life, that is the time you do that. That is the time you can say, "I'm copying every move you did because this is a portrayal of what you did." You don't have to be original because you're a character. You're playing a part. Play the part. What you did was add your own thing and start doing your own thing and made that character your own original character. And in this moment, it wasn't necessary. You could have just did Brooke Lynn, and that would have been enough.
I saw a combination of both. I mean, if she were to do exactly the same thing Brooke Lynn did throughout the whole thing, that would be like weird to me.
Well, not exactly, but at least like paying homage to the movements that were made. Because I didn't really see too many of the exact Brooke Lynn movements that she did. I saw Nearah doing movements in the places that Brooke Lynn did stunts.
She did Brooke Lynn's movements. I noticed a few of them. I've watched that lip sync so many times, and I'm sure you have too, but I definitely saw some.
I saw a couple. I think it was a nice. For me, I think it was a nice balance of things that Brooke Lynn did and things that are within Nearah's wheelhouse. Like I agree with you, Dawn, about the like standing on your head. Do we know if Nearah can do that? That's the thing. The going backwards and like slamming backwards. That's something she could probably do, given what we've seen of her flexibility. So I think for me, at the end of the day, it's like I just wish. Like, A, she was put into this. B, we don't know how tight the choreography would be. To your point, Lana, I agree with you. I think there could have been a moment where she's like, hey, Hollywood, they just saw this. And Hollywood Jade is someone who has been there enough to know, like, I feel like he would be a little bit understanding, but we never know. But she could have been like, hey, Hollywood, can we, like, switch a couple of these things up that I'm doing specifically? Doesn't have to impact the backing dancers, but, like, there's just a couple things that they just saw from me. Is there any way we can do something different? There is a chance he could say no. And there's a chance he could say, hey, this is like strictly choreographed, whatever. There are definitely things Nearah could have done, but I also don't think that fundamentally detracted from the performance. And obviously, we'll talk about it later. I think Nearah did a great job in the performance.
Oh, absolutely.
I just thought and I'm not saying anyone thinks otherwise. What my point is it felt a little hypocritical for that critique coming from Brooke Lynn, seeing as how a lot of the stuff that Nearah did was also stuff that Brooke did. That's where my like frustration comes in.
Can we also address, first of all, this really wasn't so much a rusical challenge. It was a dancing challenge. In fact, the winner of it won by dancing and barely lip syncing. But also, how weird is it to have that right after the lip sync episode? Like, of course, people are going to do similar things. especially if they have roles in it that are going to be similar to like modern lip syncs. So I thought it was a weird time to do it overall.
I agree with you completely. The pacing of this season now, like from last episode to this episode, was just a little strange. And the way that the musical was set up, I thought was really weird as well. And we can talk about that more when we talk about the actual challenge. There's a lot of frustration with, you know, this whole situation. But before we dive into the musical itself, we get a lovely workroom conversation as they're all getting ready about monogamy and non-monogamy and, you know, all of the different kinds of relationship. And I thought this was, because there can be a lot of discourse online, specifically with the gays, about, like, there are people that are vehemently monogamous and we support you in that. And there are people that are vehemently non-monogamous and we support you in that. But those groups don't always like to support each other. And I thought this was a lovely, civil, wonderful, fabulous conversation about both aspects of, like, relationship styles. About queer relationships and queer relationship styles.
Because, I mean, usually, at least from my experience, a lot of queer relationships are non-traditional. Non-traditional as in, like, I know very few monogamous queer people. Like, where they, like, you usually don't see them, like, if they're in a committed relationship, they're in an open relationship. Or, like, there's not very many times when it's, like, a truly monogamous, this is my person, I don't go anywhere outside of that. And, of course, that's fine. Like, everybody to each their own. And, you know, like, I think it's very important that they're at least showing the other side, like, the true queerness of, or, like, the true queer relationship of, or the typical queer relationship, I should say. The
spectrum of queer relationships that exist.
Yes, thank you.
And this also goes for straight people too. I'm not trying to exclude our straight allies this time. But this conversation is all about, you know, the queer experience.
Absolutely not. This conversation is not all about the queers, because this is very much going on in the straight community as well.
I meant on the show. That's what I'm saying.
Well, absolutely not, because I'm here, and that therefore this can't be exclusively a queer conversation because I'm here.
Yes, I know. I'm saying the conversation that was had on the episode of Canada's Drag Race that we were discussing was about queer people. I'm not saying that this conversation we're currently happening with the four of us is.
Well, you did say on the podcast, so that's why I thought you meant the four of us.
No, I'm not trying to. Lana, please stop making it seem like I'm trying to exclude you.
Lana just saw The Color Purple. Mama. I'm here is on her mind.
Mama, you know what? She just watched that. She just binged every episode of Z-Way. She was ready to get everybody.
I did watch The Color Purple, and I am here. I'm beautiful. My voice should be heard. Okay, but
yes, I know.
Honestly, seriously, in all seriousness, you see more and more of this kind of relationship happening in all communities, like straight communities and in the queer communities, and a lot more people are open about it. And yes, there are people who are just like, traditional one-on-one relationships, that's the way to go, and that's what we do. But then there's the other side of the spectrum where folks are like, why am I only sticking with one person when there are several people out here who I just feel connected to? And I feel like if that's what you're, like you said, to each his own, if that's your thing, do your thing. Yeah. Live your life the way you want to live your life. And do that. But yeah, it's that everybody conversation, because everybody is dealing with this. But I did enjoy the way they spoke about it and talked about it so freely and openly. And everybody was, you know, very much like, to each your own if that's what you want to do. Because like Venus was like, look, I am someone who goes and experience everybody as much as I can because I enjoy that life. And Melinda was like, I don't understand the whole process of monogamy. That's just something that I don't get. And they were like, I get it. But then on the other side, you had Denim like, I have my person. That is my partner. That's who I'm with. And that's it. And Kiki was the same way. Like, I found my partner of mine. And you can do that. And I feel like I always say, I never close out the option of experimenting and having open relationships. But I always feel like once you find that person, And it could come. It's a possibility you never find that person. But if you find that person, you turn into that selfish person. It's like, I don't want to share you, and I don't want you to share me. So how about we just lock this thing down, me and you? And it has to be a unique and special connection that you have with somebody. But if you never find that, that's fine. Enjoy your life and do what you do, whatever makes you happy. And also, yeah.
And I was going to say, as someone who is ethically non-monogamous and has been in open relationships before, I was like, I feel very seen in this episode. It's in a positive light. I'm like, yay. I love it.
We should normalize people being in open relationships because why not?
But
Why
if it's not for you, it's not for you.
It's not for you. But that don't mean you have to be mean to other people.
Yes, exactly. That part, Lana, because some gays are mad about it.
And there's also an argument that straight people who are polyamorous are on the queer umbrella, because it's not just about like being attracted to the same sex that makes you queer. Like there's so many letters, so you can fall under that too.
I mean, a lot of people can, because like a lot of people in open relationship that I know who say that they're on the straighter side of the spectrum will say, but I also like my partner who, like, if it's me, for example, say it's me, my partner who is a male, but sometimes we invite other females into the relationship. Does that make me queer? Or, not saying that I do that, but I'm just using myself as an example. But does that make me a queer woman because I enjoy the other woman in the relationship? So it's we're all on the same spectrum. I'm about to say we're all on the same spectrum. You just have to find what place you are and be happy with who you are in that place. And if you're not on the same side as other people, it does not give you the right to judge them for what they do, because you don't want anybody to judge you for what you do. Period. Treat everybody how you want to be treated.
So I don't mean to change the subject, but I just.
But you do. But I do.
But see. Out of this not to change the subject, but to change the subject, I actually just went and did a little bit of a research, a little deep dive. And so there are very specific Shoppers Drug Marts that sell luxury makeup. But most of them sell CoverGirl, Maybelline, Elf, NYX, stuff like that. But there is a luxury section of some stuff that is at some particular Shoppers Drug Marts. I reached out to one of my good Canadian drag queen friends. Thank you, Aria Zero. And she answered some questions. Oh, yeah, they sell like Shiseido, La Roche-Posay, Benefit, they spell Estee Lauder, Clinique, Kylie Cosmetics. Yeah, this is like, it seems like it's pretty much like some of the really nice ones are like Ulta's. Like I would based on what they're selling, like, because I know they have Sephora in Canada, they don't have Ulta. So seeing what's here in their section, a lot of this stuff is usually typically sold at Ulta in the US and not at Sephora. To answer the questions that we had earlier in the podcast,
I love the fact that Kev was like, I don't care about anything else that we're talking about. This conversation that you all are having, don't care. What I need to find out is about this makeup. I need to know
if I'm ever in Canada,
in this drug store. Do I go to any drug store, or do I have to go to a specific drug store to get the makeup? Thank you, Dawn. We appreciate your research. We appreciate your commitment to finding out where we go in Canada to get our luxury drug store makeup. Period.
I wasn't expecting such a swerve off that. Let me deviate this way. And it was like, nope, I'm way over here.
Don't think about it as an off topic. Think about it as a circle back.
Oh, it was
to the beginning of the podcast.
The beginning of the podcast, because I was like, I'm thinking Kevin's like, to change the subject.
I wanted to talk about asexuality.
No. Kev was like, to change the subject. Back to where we started. Makeup.
Yeah. Shoppers Drug Mart.
Shoppers Drug Mart.
I love it.
This video is not sponsored by Shoppers Drug Mart, but it could be.
If you want to, we will.
None of us are Canadian, but we can bring a Canadian on the show.
I've been to Canada.
I plan to go back.
Canadian side of Niagara Falls.
I haven't, but I would like to soon. It's on my list of places to visit in 2024.
I will be going back to Canada at some point soon, and I will stop into Shoppers Drug Mart to buy such expensive luxury makeup.
Coming soon, Shoppers Drug Mart haul.
Wada G reacts to Shoppers Drug Mart.
Vlog to Shoppers Drug Mart. Be walking around with my phone like
That's for the
With
Patreon
some
right there.
subject changes
Patreon.
about non-monogamy.
non-monogamy.
Talk about non-monogamy in Shoppers Drug Mart.
Shoppers
That's
Drug
the
Mart.
ultimate video.
Period.
There we go.
Work. I'm gonna ask everybody in the Shoppers Drug Mart. So, what is your stance on monogamous relationships? That's gonna be my question that I ask everybody in Shoppers Drug Mart as I'm picking up.
We talk about Canada's Drag Race anymore. Or are we just talking about Shoppers Drug Mart in Mountain?
We will look now. We are going to shift back
We're
into
starting the year with chaos.
what we're going to shift back into what we came here for, and that's Canada's Drag Race. So after the conversation, period. Oh, we'll go back, David, because David had something he wanted to say.
A crush that we found out about.
Oh, a crush, yeah,
David
between
is
Aurora
the
and Denim.
topic of asexuality.
Yeah, Aurora. Aurora had a crush on Denim 2 years prior to meeting, and was like, but Aurora was like, I'm not a very sexual person, but I did have a crush on Denim. Ooh.
Oh, that was so cute. They would have made a
cute.
great couple.
Then it was like, oh, really? It was so cute. It was so cute. They were like, it was good. But then we went to that.
Denim should have been like, oh, well, it must be over if you tried to send me home by picking the same song as me last week.
Oh, well. Well,
Okay,
then I'm
now
like,
for
real though. Yeah, for real though this time.
I never thought the day would come where I got to talk about Countess Luanda Lesseps on Drag Race, but that day has come. I'm so excited. Was she a great guest judge? No. Was she there? Yes. Therefore, I was happy. Also, everyone looks incredible.
I'm so glad you were happy that they were there.
Because you probably had no clue who that woman was.
No.
I knew who she was. I just didn't care who
good.
she was. I watched The Housewives at some point.
I did not care who she was, and I did not know.
She's one of the most iconic and infamous Real Housewives of all time.
Well, good for her. Love that for her.
I am very upset, though, that the Lipsync song was not her song, Chic C'est La Vie, because it is one of the stupidest songs ever, and I honestly, truly wish that it had been Chic C'est La Vie. But it wasn't.
Is it just me, or does Tracy look like she's about to sneeze in this photo?
Yes.
Fully. But Brooklyn, oh my God.
That wedding dress is stunning. I was like, wait a minute. She picked a good one. Like Brooklyn,
Constantly raising the bar and looking fabulous while doing so.
This is why I truly believe that Brooke Lynn Hytes has the best runways. Like maybe tied with Valentina. Brooklyn always just turns it out on the runway for me every time.
We might have disagreed then because we gave a lot of wins to Lolita when it came to runways in Mexico.
Yeah.
You know what? Sorry, no, but nobody can go up to Mama Pow on season 2 of
Oh, but of
course not. Like Mama Pow just ate the runway every time. No, but Brooklyn looks absolutely stunning. I love that we got like a real like bridal runway from one of the judges, which I think is really cool, and I love that.
Yeah, I was so confused at the beginning of the episode when it showed all of the. I'm like, was she in a wedding dress? But that was before I knew the theme.
Yes.
All I know is, as somebody who's dreamed about wearing a wedding dress my entire life, this dress would be the dress you would want to wear. Not because it's beautiful without like the tulle part that's like wrapped around it, but that just added a whole nother layer of beautifulness to this gown. I've looked at so many wedding dresses and like so many wedding dresses. Like, I don't know, I'm one of those typical girls who just would get wedding books and just to have and look just for the heck of it. Never engaged, never close to being engaged, but I was looking just in case it happened. But this dress, it would have been on my Pinterest wall. Like, I need to lose 800 pounds just to fit into this dress. I need to suck it in, suck it up, and get into that dress so I can look like that. Because stunning. And that hair,
Well, she probably only spent
Good.
$40 on that wig.
Of
like she said
course.
at DragCon.
I can imagine, but she looks good.
Did you say $40?
Yeah, there was this whole thing. This is such an niche thing. They asked a bunch of queens at DragCon how much they spend on wigs, and Brooke was like, the max I ever spend is $40 on a wig. I'm like, girl, it's just because Canada pays for all that, I'm sure.
She's
pay
never
for your
spent more
wardrobe.
than $40.
She's
for a
never
wig.
spent more than $40
She's
on a wig.
worn wigs that are more than that, for sure.
Oh, yeah. But
Oh,
she
yeah,
doesn't
when
spend that money.
When Sugar and Spice said like 3,000, I was like, yeah, that tracks.
Well, that's typical, like, really nice human unit. Yeah, that makes sense. I would.
But
I mean, that's how much it costs to maintain beauty. It is what it is. It costs.
That's so off topic, though. But
in the words of Beyonce, beauty hurts.
Beauty does
Pretty
hurt.
hurts your wallet.
Pretty hurts. And if you want to be pretty, you gotta hurt. Sorry. And men don't appreciate it. Oh, I'm sorry.
I appreciate it.
I just got into my feelings about how men don't appreciate how much work it takes to be pretty.
I know Brad Goreski didn't.
No, he did not. But we moved.
We
I
moved.
wish he would move.
Oh, I wish he would move too.
Let's talk about our Rusical. We can go in order if we really want to.
Yes.
Oh, musical. I'm so sorry, musical.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
Didn't do what?
Change the slide.
I didn't either.
One of the four of us changed the damn slide. I don't know who it was.
I have not. My hands have been.
My hands is up here. Up here.
Anyway, we have the musical. We have Melinda as Ingenue Brooklyn. We have Aurora Matrix as ballerina Brooklyn. We have Kiki Coe as burlesque cabaret Brooklyn. Nearah as Sorry Not Sorry Brooklyn. Venus as runner-up Brooklyn. And Denim as Queen of the North Brooklyn.
Or as she called it, gossipole.
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 Yes, gossipole.
I laughed so hard when she said that. I
Gospel
laughed.
Brooklyn.
Gossipole. I was like, did she say gossipole?
Gossipole.
I've never done gossipole before. I was like, girl.
They
I love gospel
They got rid of-
music.
They got rid of all the black queens, so no one was there to educate them on the fact that it's not gospel. XOXO,
Three Asian
Gospel
queens.
Girl.
3 Asian queens in
Gospel.
the top 6. We should be very excited. about
Very
that.
excited for that.
We have been very excited.
I, know,
about
I don't
that.
think that's happened outside of Philippines, has it?
I don't think it has.
Well, Thailand too.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, in Thailand, but
On a non-Asian Drag Race franchise, I do not believe in top 6.
Has an Asian queen even gone home?
No.
I mean,
no.
Well,
dot,
yes,
dot.
now, but at this current moment that we're currently
No.
talking about with this top 6,
Yeah.
No,
But
no.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
what do we think of the Rusical?
I enjoyed it.
I did too, actually. I was actually very highly entertained.
Mhm. And I didn't think anybody was bad.
Yes,
Not
I-
even close.
Well, other than Aurora's wig, I thought everything was pretty good. I'm sorry, Aurora's wig made me so pissed.
Oh no, Aurora's wig was bad, and the fact that she won the challenge with all of her boy hair showing in the back of
And-
that wig.
Bobby pins, like full on visible, like multiple bobby pins holding that together. And I'm like, I know that happens on the occasion, but it's like this is the whole like this is Drag Race. Like I thought like they were gonna call that out, and then she wasn't gonna win the challenge. I thought she had a chance to win, but like because of that hair being such a distraction for me from all the movements that she was doing in the ballet, like I couldn't focus on anything but her bobby pins in her hair.
Mhm. I would love to go in order if we could talk about each of them. If you all want to.
I was just gonna say I love that the right side of the panel loved this musical because I don't know about Lana. I thought this was honestly kind of a weaker musical, personally.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan that much. I wasn't that entertained.
But yes, I would love to go in order, starting with Mother Melinda Verga. This week, not doing a crunchy dip at the end of her routine, but she is doing Ingenue Brooklyn.
Mhm.
David, what did you think?
I liked Melinda. I thought she was very solid in this. She had really good energy from the start. She kept it up. Sure, she looked a little crunchy like she usually does. No offense, Melinda, I love you. But as far as her actual delivery in it, I thought she did a very solid job.
I agree. I think did a solid job in this. I think she was one of the people that stood out to me for good reasons. Um, her look, I've just come to know Melinda's just going to give us crunchy every single time, and it's like it is what it is. But her performance is always makes up for the crunchiness that how she looks. So it is what it is. She did a good job, though. I think her performance was a standout performance, a really good performance of the ingenue.
Absolutely. Pretty much everything that y'all said.
Yeah, I agree. I loved this Megan performance that she was putting on. But no, I thought it was a good performance. I thought it was solid. She had the lip sync down. She had the nuance. Not a lot of people in this musical had the nuance of the lyrics. And I think maybe Melinda had the best. She was giving facial expression throughout her entire routine. I honestly thought there was a universe that maybe Melinda could win. I think it could have been a feasible moment given, the musical and the runway, which we'll talk about her runway later. The fact that she was just safe was kind of frustrating for me because I think she really deserved a high placement for this musical personally. But that's just me. Because then we move to Aurora as ballerina Brooke Lynn.
Do I get to start again?
I think we can go in that order. I think
okay, because I have some thoughts. Okay. So I thought Aurora, for the most part, did a very good job with her dancing in this. Like it seemed like she took one of the most challenging parts and she did a good job of living up to the choreography. But there's a lot that I did not love about this. You all mentioned it. I did not like seeing that her real hair in the background the whole time, just peeking out. I thought that was kind of unforgivable. But also she slipped multiple times. I do think the editing tried to like cut away from her as soon as she started to slip. It was never like she fell, but there were like at least 3 times where she kind of slipped. Also, she really didn't have to lip sync much at all. It was like some sounds. So, was she my winner? No. Was she my bottom 2? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with what David said. I think it was weird that she didn't have to lip sync much at all, and her dancing was fine. Her dancing was good. She did what she could with trying to do ballet, never having to take any classes. And ballet is very technical and very it takes a lot of years to perfect the craft of ballet. And she had a day maybe, and I think she did really well in that aspect. But one thing about ballet is ballerinas, they ooze perfection. Everything about their performance have to be about perfection, and from head to toe. And that hair peeking out the back of the wig is not perfection. Seeing the bobby pins is not. You would never see anything like that on a ballerina. You would never ever dream to see a hair out of place on a ballerina because they have to work at everything being perfection. And in this moment, it wasn't, and it took away the illusion of being a prima ballerina, because that's what Brooklyn was, a prima ballerina. And you can't, you're giving. I just started ballet a couple weeks ago, and we had our first recital. It was sloppy, it was messy, and that is just unacceptable for a ballerina. So I didn't really like it, but I think she did well with her dancing. But it's just the whole illusion of a ballerina was just lost the minute she turned around and we saw all that hair picking out.
Dawn.
I already said everything I wanted to say about Aurora.
Oh.
Okay.
So,
I think this was the safe performance for me personally. I think it's difficult because it's difficult also because all of these parts are so different. So it's honestly really difficult to judge them all together. Or like judge them against each other. I think for me with Aurora, the hair, not it. The performance was fine. I'm not going to fault her for not lip syncing that much because the part that she has is not a lip sync part. And that's fine and that's whatever. That comes down to the people that wrote the musical. It's their fault. I'm not going to blame Aurora for that because that's not Aurora's problem. She picked that role. That's the role she has. She can't help the fact that it's not a lip sync role.
She was anxious to get that role, though.
She was anxious to get the role. And then even then, when she was lip syncing in the role, I didn't get any nuance from her performance. It fell flat for me. But I think the dancing was good. I thought the performance overall was fine. So, someone who was not fine, unfortunately, was dearest Kiki Coe doing Cabaret.
Kiki Coe was very much a Kiki no here. It was rough, and I hate to say that because Kiki is an amazing drag queen, but I'm starting to notice that maybe performance is not where her strong suit is in terms of working with choreography and props. I think that she definitely falls under a park and bark performer, especially from what we've seen from her, which I love a park and bark performer, let me tell you. But yeah, I wasn't that impressed. I know the hat fell off and that can be a struggle, but it's when that happens, make it intentional. I let my hat fall off. And I know it's hard to do that when you're in your head, you're on that big stage, people are watching you, the whole world's watching you. So it's very, very nervous. And I respect all of these queens for going up on this platform and doing what they're doing. But yeah, Kiki unfortunately was the weakest performance for me overall.
Yeah, I'll start by saying Kiki was in my bottom 2, but I think I disagree with you all. I actually thought she was strong overall. I got good energy from her. I was not that bothered by the hat falling off. I could tell they cut to Tracy mean mugging as soon as it happened. And I'm like, okay, what do you really expect her to do? Yeah, she could have tried to improvise, do something with it. She had tight choreography she had to keep up with. If she had done something else, that would have thrown off the rest of the choreography. And it would be a gamble because they could just as easily have said, why did you do that? Why did you let it distract you? Why didn't you keep going? They could have said whatever they wanted to put her in the bottom because she was going to be in the bottom no matter what. My biggest issue with her in this was the actual mouth part of her lip sync. She had and I have not noticed it other times, but it almost seemed like she was pulling her lips in a weird way. It was it just looked odd to me. And I was so confused by it because that's not how she's been. But yeah, overall, she was in my bottom 2. I didn't think it was horrible by any means. I thought she was very strong with the choreography.
I thought she was the weakest, but I didn't think it was bad. I think that's the thing. I think she handled the slip ups well. The hat fell off. She just kind of was okay, kept going. Was she a little clunky with the cane? Sure, but we saw that in the rehearsal. She just wasn't getting it even then. So I wasn't expecting her to just magically overnight get it and perfect it and do it. But I think she did okay. It wasn't the strongest. Did she deserve to be in the bottom 2? Yes. Would I say she was just a bad performance? No, I would just say it was just weaker than the ones before her. That's it.
I'm gonna agree. For me, she was the weakest as well. The difficulty is just she dropped a lot of choreo. She dropped the hat, she dropped the cane, and she dropped her choreo. And it felt like her lip syncing performance as well was flat. And that's really the only word I can use to describe it. Is she had the words, but there wasn't any exaggeration. There wasn't any nuance to it. And with this song, I want it to be hit, bam. I want to feel the sassiness that comes from this specific song that she was performing to. I got none of that, which is really unfortunate because I love Kiki. But we've already kind of talked a little bit about Nearah and her performance. If anyone has any other thoughts on Nearah specifically.
I do.
Unless David does.
I do. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like, it was easily my favorite performance. And a lot of it had to do with just the fact that I have so much like admiration for the original lip sync, but I was entertained and I was just like, she's like really starting to get my stand card. And I did not expect it based on the first half of the season, but she just got such upward momentum in my eyes. I just don't think they're ever going to allow her to have that momentum. Also, her acting was very good too. Like, her reaction when it was announced that Evie won, like, that was hilarious. It was so funny. There was never going to be a world where they would be like, Nearah, you're the first one to get 2 wins. That was never going to happen. But I thought she killed it.
I will say I have one weakness in this world when it comes to drag, and that is a human hair unit in a bodysuit. It will always be sickening for me. I don't care if it's basic. I don't care that it's just a performance outfit, but Nearah knows how to proportionize for a bodysuit and a human hair unit, and this is the best way that I like to see Nearah Nuff. Period.
Also, I did like that she did the wig reveal different than Brooke Lynn did with this outfit, because Lana, you haven't seen this outfit. Brooke Lynn takes off the whole like draping part, and with it coming off, she pulls off the wig as well. But she left the wig on, and then she let it fall off when she did a flip, which is kind of what Evie did in that lip sync. So I thought that was like a cool twist on it. I got chills, honestly. I got chills watching it.
Yeah, because usually when we see it, she literally lifts up the tarp, and when she pulls it back, the hair is gone and the 40 inches come down. Like, that's how it is. But in this, it was different, and I liked that. But also, like, what can you do?
Was this my favorite performance? Absolutely. She killed it. She did everything. Because I don't have the references points to the original point that everybody loves to point out, that I don't know these things. So it's okay. Great. It's fine. I don't know. I didn't say you. You can put your hands down. I didn't say you. I'm just saying everybody love to point out that I don't know these things. But I don't know these things. And I don't know the reference, but I do know I like this performance because it was the better one. It was the best one of the night on that entire stage. You can't deny it. I don't care what she did or what you didn't think was of the original or not like the original. You can't deny the performance was great. And Nearah is a great performer, period.
Mm-hmm.
I will be the one to disagree with everybody else here. Nearah's performance was not my favorite.
She just said you can't deny it.
I'm not denying that there is star power, and I'm not denying that her performance was good, because it was a fantastic performance top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It was my second favorite performance of the musical. By far, no question.
Okay.
Who could be your favorite?
Denim! No, I'm kidding. It's not, unfortunately. No, because my favorite was Venus. I really thought Venus took a risk, but then also not really taking a risk, doing something we've already kind of seen from her.
Mm-hmm.
But, David, you cannot deny that her performance here was good.
Mm-hmm.
Brooke
I can deny it.
Okay.
Ooh.
I said beforehand that, like, before we started recording, I said that I think Venus chose the ultimate safe pick for all of these because she chose to do the ballad, where you don't have to do too much choreography. You can rely on your lip syncing skills, and then you're good. She knew she wasn't going to win with this role. She knew she wasn't going to lose with this role. This is the perfect safe for me. I don't think that any higher or lower could have been there for me. I enjoyed Venus's performance. I think that the whole Evie Oddly thing was hilarious with that ookie dookie spooky little reference that they did to her and how it was like haunting her. I thought that was funny. I thought she did a great job with the lip sync. And it was different from what she gave, because she took Brooke Lynn's critiques from earlier of saying, don't just look like you're screaming. I appreciated the way that she lip synced this because it wasn't completely how like she took the advice that she got from the last episode and incorporated it into this, compared to what Nearah did, where it was just a lot of similar choreography from her lip sync performance.
I'm going to push back a little bit, and I'll be the only one now, and I will have the unpopular opinion because I absolutely did not enjoy her performance at all. I thought she was one of the weaker ones too. There was a world where I could have seen her in the bottom two, and I would have been like, okay, makes sense to me, because she did nothing but. And then she walked away. And then she came back and she walked away. It was nothing to that performance. It was so basic and so boring. That was the performance. I was just like, even Kiki messing up the choreography, at least she gave me something. Even Denim not being on the rhythm with the music and dropping some choreography, she gave me something. But she didn't give me anything. Venus was the weakest. It really was nothing to give. But that's the risk of the role she chose, because that role didn't give anything. And that role wasn't equipped. Sure, safe, fine, if you want to make her safe. I wouldn't have made her safe in my particular, because I'm like, if you're going to pick the role that's going to give nothing, you have to make it give something. And she didn't. She didn't add anything to make me go, oh, she took this dramatic ballad of being haunted by the ghost. And I didn't feel she was haunted or tortured. I just felt she was, I'm singing a ballad and I'm just being dramatic with my hands. But it's ghosts coming at you. And she wasn't tortured. Oh my God. I want you to perform the song. And you have the least amount of work. You don't have to learn choreography. The least you could do is perform the song. I felt the lack of performance was in this song. She had two ghosts coming out of her. Evie Oddly coming at her. You lost. You just lost to this person. And it's haunting you. And all you can do is go, and you're back. Where is the performance, girl? Give me more. She gave me nothing. I think this was my least favorite performance of the whole night, because she gave me nothing.
I think this is funny because we are all in different places with this one, because for me, I thought this was very good and it was solidly number 2. It was not anywhere above or below. There is a world where I could have seen her get the win when you add in the runway as well. But yeah, I thought she had a lot of nuance and it was all in her face. They wouldn't let her, if she moved her arm an inch during the rehearsal, they're like, no, you have to hold still. But yeah, I thought she really delivered it with her face. And she's not been my favorite person. I think she's been a little overrated at times this season. But for me, I do think there was a universe where she could have got the win, even though it wouldn't have been my choice. I did like it, but the highlight was the Evie Oddlies running around in the back, because that was so stupid. And I love that moment. I love that lip sync from the season 11 finale. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Did we all watch the same episode? That's what I'm wondering at this point.
Yes, and I love that we all have such differing opinions, because that's not always the case with us.
Yeah, no, this is, I think, the most divisive podcast we've ever had in our entire life from all of us.
We haven't had a 0, 50, and 100 yet.
Yeah, we go back to talking about Shoppers Drug Mart now?
I mean, I'm about to say, I don't know if this is the most divisive you've been to, Dawn. This is the most divisive, because we've had some pretty divisive ones about.
Well, I'm saying individually divisive, where everybody has a different opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
There isn't a single agree. Everybody is.
Yeah, that's about to say. Absolutely, we've had that.
It's not going to stop, because we're about to talk about Denim.
Oh.
And I'm going to be the one with the unpopular opinion.
Go for it, David.
Denim was in my top half. My only issue with Denim in this performance was that she looked small. But guess what? She is small. And she couldn't have done anything about that. I thought she absolutely delivered a lot of energy. It was fun. I liked the dancing. She was good to me. I mean, there was never a world where I would give her the win, but her and Melinda were right there in the middle for me. And I would have given Denim the edge. Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I think she did a good job with what she had. I think she probably, out of all these people, had the most difficult role. Which one? Why were they doing like gospel anyways
Gospel.
for Brooke Lynn Hytes? Gospel. Thank you. For Brooke Lynn Hytes. But like for her to have a gospel song, like she did pretty decent. Again, I'm not too experienced with gospel music outside of the movie Hercules, but
Well, that was not
But-
what you need to say in front of Lana.
The muses.
I appreciate
It's
the
the gospel
music, though.
truth.
It's the gospel.
I appreciate the music. Hercules is my favorite Disney movie. But
too.
like it's so good. But like I thought she did a decent job with what she had, but at the end of the day, I think it was on the weaker end for me.
Lana, do we have the same Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie?
Well, I was gonna say David and Dawn had the same favorite Disney movie, so I'm wondering if we do.
I don't know. What is your favorite Disney movie?
We have the right favorite.
What is
And
your
we have the
favorite Disney
correct favorite.
What-
I know, I was about to say,
Mine is actually Mulan.
We don't, because mine is actually The Lion King.
Oh, but that's a great
Word.
choice.
I mean, it has to be The Lion King. For me, it has to be.
love Blueberry Academy.
But
Do you not know about that, Logan?
No,
I'll show you later.
please.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, no,
Don't worry
not
about
that. Not that. Okay. I'm being greedy, by the way, because I'm keep eating whipped cream.
Please do. I support it.
Thanks. Then I'm doing gospel.
Gospel.
Gospel. I mean, if you can't pronounce it, you shouldn't do it. Let's be real. Let's just do it. But I don't think she did a horrible job. Was she off? Did she lack rhythm? Absolutely. But that's the problem when you get rid of the Black queens before we get to the gospel portion of the service. You get rid of us.
Service.
I said what I said. You get rid of us at the gospel portion of the service. You get lack of flavor. And because you know who would have killed that? Amy Beyonce or Lena, Luna.
Honestly, I'm not even sure about Luna.
I was gonna say I don't think
Luna would have did it. Look, Luna been in church. Luna know what church is.
Sure.
How about that? She been to church. I don't care how regal you are. You've been to church. You know what to do in church.
Did y'all see, on the topic of Luna Dubois, did y'all see Luna's runway for this?
Yep, it would have been.
Oh.
It would have been amazing.
She went full Nigerian wedding.
wedding.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
It's
It was-
incredible.
Look it up now.
Please
Stunning.
do, because shout out to Luna Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
I love Luna.
I think she would have ate this up too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, stunning. But
Ooh.
stunning. I thought I was like,
Oh, that hat.
that hit.
She might actually be the look queen of this season, despite what we had said otherwise.
We're not gonna talk about her look right
Look
now.
right
We're
now,
not gonna talk about her look right now. We're not.
because I need to talk
That
about
look was, and I think Denim did okay.
Yeah.
Was she a little lacking in the rhythm? Sure, but I don't think. And I agree with you, David. I think she was a little small, but that's who she is. She can't help her
Mhm.
when she's surrounded by taller people. She's gonna seem like she's small and shrinking. But I think when she was out there by herself and it was just her and the dancers, she actually performed well. Like, for me, Denim would have been a perfectly good safe spot. I probably would have put Venus down at the bottom and then put Denim in the safe spot. That's just me personally.
For me, I don't think Denim was bad by any means. I think Denim was my fifth favorite, unfortunately. And in this scenario, that means bottom two for me personally. I
Mhm.
think, to your point exactly, Lana, that was the point I was going to make. When it was just Denim on stage, I think she did actually pretty well.
Mhm.
There were a couple of lines lost in the actual lip syncing itself. I didn't think the lip syncing was bad overall. When everyone came on the stage, though, that's your moment to go full church choir crazy.
But it's not her portion anymore. Then it's everybody's.
But it's still she is still technically on the stage performing, and she didn't perform to the level that she should have.
what she should have done was gone full church choir soloist and not
Yes.
full blown choir church choir. Like she blended in with the choir when she should have been the soloist and been out front with the ad libs. Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Take that, take that timbre. Even though they didn't ask for that, like those are your moments that you have
True,
to take
but
for
we
yourself.
could have that same critique for everybody because that was
Well,
all
no,
of their
because-
moment. It was
no,
not her
because-
moment anymore.
No, it was her moment because this was
No, because
her
nobody
song.
else had to share their.
Here's the
Okay, well then
That's-
why didn't
and that's what I'm
everybody
saying.
take their moment?
And that's what I'm saying. Everybody didn't have to share their moment. This was Denim's song. Denim should have taken her moment from the choir coming in behind her. When you have a moment like that, baby, that's your backup. And y'all need to back the hell up. And while I come up in here and I'm going to be the soloist. Now, did the thing have ad libs and things like that where she could do that? No, but that's where you take initiative. It's these moments when you're performing, you have to take initiative and just do it. They might not
Same
tell
to
you
everybody else. Melinda, why didn't you do that? Aurora,
because
why
she
didn't you
didn't
do
have
that?
to. They
And
had the
also
whole
Denim
moment
was
by
still
themselves.
Denim was still front and center.
Right.
But it was still all of their performance. This was the finale. It wasn't about the individual performances anymore. It was the finale. It was for all.
This is where you're falling behind. Is this not still Denim's song? It's the finale, but was this not still Denim's song? They came in on the back end of Denim's song.
It was Denim's song until they were all out there.
And no, it's still Denim's song because that's where you take the lead. You are the lead. You take that song and you make it yours. Because now, being as somebody who's in a group, my sisters and I, when we singing together and it's just a group song, sure. But when it's my lead and they're now my background, I have to stand out and take my lead. No matter what they're doing behind me, I still have to make the people know this is my song. So I'm going to.
Was there a directive that they're your background? Was that anything she was ever?
Yes. Because they all
that's your
came
perception.
out.
That was not my perception. My perception was now it's a group number.
Here's how we know that this was the group number. This is how this was the lead because they all came out looking like her. She was the one out there first, and they came out looking like her.
They looked like her. They didn't look like background. They were not a uniform group
and they
behind.
stood behind her the whole time because they are her background.
They were
singers.
all in equal outfits now.
They all stood behind her the whole time because you look at this picture. The only person that came up front was Nearah.
I feel like we're putting like an expectation on her that was not put on anybody else.
Because everybody else had their own song, and everybody else had their own song the whole time.
And this was the finale. This is everybody's song.
But still, you have to ad lib your way through to make you. This is where competition comes in, David. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying competition wise, when you have to be the star and you're trying to fight for your life, you have to take initiative to do what you have to do to stand out. Even if the people come out and they're trying to take your spotlight, how do you make sure you don't lose your light? You start doing what you got to do.
Same with you, Melinda. Melinda, this is where the competition comes out. Step up, Melinda.
You're taking it you're not.
Move to the front, Venus.
Sure. Just say you want to be ignorantly blissful and just be that.
No, we have a fundamental disagreement on what was expected here.
I mean, but I'm just saying because you're just taking it back to what Melinda did when she had a whole song where nobody
Melinda
came out.
As an example.
And Venus.
Because this is the finale. This is the joint part of the song for everybody now.
Okay. All right, David. I will. I'm not conceding because
I don't expect you to. We just are going to disagree.
Agree to disagree. We move. And I'm so glad Dawn and Logan got their lives in that moment. Actually didn't have to because it really wasn't that deep. But go on.
We had our Brooke Lynn Hytes moment.
We had our Brooke Lynn Hytes pillow hiding untouched moment.
We love that for you.
We had our untucked trying to get the straw with our tongues moment.
Did we coordinate that backstage? Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about. Who knows?
Who knows?
So, here's my question. I'm very curious. Dawn, don't answer yet. But I have deduced that Logan, Lana, and I all would have had Kiki in the bottom, but each of us would have had a different person down there with her because I would have had Aurora, Lana would have had Venus, Logan would have had denim.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
Dawn, who would your bottom two have been?
Sure, shits and giggles. Should I just say Melinda?
That would be something I always expect Logan to do.
No, I actually agreed with the bottom two.
Okay.
Period. Not that it matters, but
And Lana and I think for ourselves.
Yeah, I guess Logan and I are just sheep.
I'm totally kidding.
okay, at the end of the day, you don't need to group the he days together because we are very different individuals. And I feel very attacked.
Don't even be trying that because you were having a conversation with the other day. You're like, we are the exact same person.
No, we are the same person though. But
no,
like,
you just said we're completely different individuals. Make up your mind.
but we are completely different individuals. You're a drag queen. I'm not.
Look, you are completely individual people who are the same person.
Exactly.
Which makes zero sense.
No offense, but sure, it works for Logan.
Just let me live in my moment.
And that's all I want you to do is live your best life, Logan.
Can
So
we talk
I
about
agree
my
with you.
fabulous slide that I made for the
An
calendar?
hour and 20 minutes in. We haven't even gotten to the runway yet.
this is
Yes,
gonna be
because
a
it's
long
chaos.
This is what happens when I join.
This is what happens when the four of us are together.
Yep. Logan, this
Stop
Which
this
is
drug
rare.
mart,
It looks-
everyone.
Thank you, Lana.
it looks very wedding invitation.
That's literally what I searched on Canva. Shout out to Canva.
I just remembered that time I was like, I love the background. And what if you didn't see it?
I didn't see it. Okay.
Who's the king?
That should have been nominated for Cup Award.
For context, oh, I can do that. Dawn.
For context, Dawn.
The thing that Logan put on, to me, it looked like just a white background with the words on it, but I didn't see it was like pink and all kind of different things happening. It was a pattern, like a very pale.
It was pink.
Very-
Yes,
Yeah, but it was
very
like a
pink
very
one.
pale pink. So I only saw white. And so David was like, that's such a lovely background, Logan. And I was like, why you so shady with that white background with that just
really
writing on it? And it just was like,
I
I was
really
like,
should have been nominated for Cup Moment of the Year.
mhm.
But to find out what did win for Cup Moment of the Year, make sure to go check out the Cup Award in 2023.
Deserved.
Right there.
Period. Deserved.
So Lana, for context, Stacey
Mhm.
McKenzie is no, I'm kidding.
No, she knows who Stacey is.
I know,
Stacey
I'm kidding.
that's why she did it. That's why she did
That's why I
it because
did it.
because they know I know who Stacey McKenzie is because they look. We tried that before. I was like, I know who
They
she is.
tried it.
They tried
Let's
it,
get to
but I
these-
knew.
Who's the first one?
Category
Category.
is always a bridesmaid. First up, Aurora Matrix.
Okay,
I wish I liked it.
me too.
I appreciate the thought and the creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Concept, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Execution,
Mm.
almost with the makeup, it gives like a knockoff of Ugacia Crujiente. Remember that first ever look that Hugasio came out on the runway
Yes.
in that dish look? I think it's just the way the makeup is. It just reminds me of like a dark, like wedding version of that.
Isn't it supposed to be Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Is it?
I thought that's what the inspiration was.
Corpse Bride.
That's what it is.
But like Corpse Bridesmaid.
Yes.
Corpse Bridesmaid. Exactly.
Oh.
I don't really know what to say about it. Like, I'm just very indifferent to it. It's fine.
I think conceptually it's a really strong idea. It was very different from everything else we saw, and so I really did like it for that. The problem with the dress, it's because I like the hair. It's giving very corpse bridesmaid. And I think the makeup is really cool with this. The garment leaves a lot to be imagined, I think. Because it's supposed to be wedding invitations all over it. And it reads, but it's not like, it doesn't read as like elevated for the concept. And I think the gown itself, like there's no shape to it. It's kind of just like a tulle sack. And this is like the one miss for me for Aurora on this season so far. Because I think like overall, she's kind of hit on every runway. And this is the one moment I was like, it's not my favorite thing.
I think it's just because it's the least Aurora look she has. Like the makeup is completely different from what we've seen. The silhouette's very different. Also, I hate that she didn't really cover her whole body in makeup because her, like the top half of her is really pale, but her arms are still like normal human being, not dead colored. Like, you know, and I wish like she kind of did a full like foundation there. Like I almost want to do what Brooke Lynn did to Lemon on season 1 in that denim look where she was like, if you had a belt and you did that, you know, so completely different. Like that's what I feel about this.
Yeah, so I will say I actually really like the face. I got the animation even without knowing the reference because honestly I take notes as I'm doing this, so I'm missing a lot of times when they're saying the references. But my big issue was the actual garment itself. It just left a lot to be desired. I do think this was absolutely one of her weaker looks. She set the bar way too high for herself. That's the problem.
Agreed. I think the dress itself is not it for me. You say those are invitations. I can't really tell. They just look like slips of paper.
You can't read those?
No. It doesn't look like anything to me.
They look like Shoppers Drug Mart receipts.
Right.
Circling back.
Circling back to what we were talking about.
We're not changing the subject. We're circling
We're
back.
circling
Circling
back.
back.
To the podcast.
At the top of the hour. But yeah, it just doesn't. I mean, I think the best part of this is her makeup on the face. I think that was great. But I do think this was the one thing that was just like, and not because it's ugly, because bridesmaid dresses aren't always known to be the prettiest things, and it's supposed to be like, you know, it's the bridesmaid, it's the corpse bridesmaid. So I feel like you, Logan, I get the concept. I just think the execution of it wasn't the best for me. So I think this was a miss for Aurora, which is another reason why she should have been at the bottom. But okay.
Another reason why she should have been safe.
Bottom 2.
Bottom. For sure.
I'm fine with where she was.
Great. Scores. Starting with David. I don't know.
69.
Nice. 70.
Oh.
Almost nice.
55.
Ooh. I'm gonna give it a 62.
David giving one of the higher scores. I could not believe it.
You're not around for all these international franchises though, where it's like me and Lana are either like so far above David's scores or so far below David's score. 50, 0, full.
Can I want to have a moment. I want to have a moment with this panel. Speaking of, okay. Well, this has nothing to do with this episode, but since we're going off topic, what was up with your all scores for Nearah on the design challenge? When I saw who was sent
bad.
safe, I was like, oh, Nearah won the challenge. Okay. I was shocked.
It was.
I wasn't there for that.
Okay.
Was I there for that?
I don't know, but they were like pleading it.
No. Yeah, it was plead-worthy.
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was.
It
I
was
will stand
cute.
right here and defend myself and Brandon in this moment by saying it was plead-worthy. It was bad. It was poorly constructed, and it did not.
Literally thought she was winning when I saw who was saved.
I didn't think she was winning. I thought she was just perfectly
And
safe.
since we're talking about that episode, Kiki did have the best garment, but she took 3 of the exact same shirts, so she basically had fabric.
They all basically had fabric. They were working with
But they had
fucking
mixed
clothes.
materials. She had one fabric. Wait, did I say Melinda?
No, you said we're circling back.
Whoa,
but I was there for that.
Whoa.
But I didn't plead there. I was there for that, but I didn't think it was great. Was I?
Okay.
I think I was there for that.
So
but,
who's
yeah.
the next person on the
Next up, Kiki Coe.
Speaking of,
You know what? Kiki looks like the mother of the design challenge. To circle back, you know what I mean? Like this is like Kiki in the design challenge. This is Kiki.
Because
You know what I mean?
Same.
That's exactly
To circle
what this is.
back.
To circle back to the podcast. To circle back like the ring around the cup in our logo. It's I really like this actually. I think this is fun. I think it's cute. It's really like, oh my god, I'm gonna be young again. Like I live for it. She's so adorable, and she's just happy for her friends who are getting married. She doesn't care that she ain't married. She don't want to get married. She's just having a good time.
She's ready to get fingered.
I forgot about that.
Oh, sorry. She's ready to get ring fingered.
Ring finger.
To circle back to the episode.
Oh God.
I'll go next. I like this as well.
I
I thought she was in the top half of the night for looks for sure. And I really like the old makeup. Like I thought it worked. I didn't understand why she was doing it. I guess Mother of the Bride works. But yeah, I thought she looked good. She's somebody you can always count on when it comes to runway though.
I thought the makeup concept was that she was so old that she's been a
Yep.
bridesmaid for so many people
Yep.
that now she's like 70 or plus.
Yeah.
And she's still the bridesmaid, but she's still kicking because she's the woman of a certain age that's still having fun at the wedding. That's what
Because
I.
she's getting
And
fingered.
she's happy with it. She's fine. She doesn't want to
Fingered.
get married.
She's getting fingered.
No, I live
Oh.
for this.
Yeah. I happened to go back and look at the design challenge that you were talking about. I thought Nearah's was all right. It was just all right. I didn't hate it. I just didn't think she did anything with it. That's it. But this, Miss Kiki Coe, I loved her concept. I love the fact that she was like, look, I'm the grandmother of the grandmothers of the grandmothers who have been in tons and tons of weddings. I go to all the weddings. I'm never married, but I have the most fun at every wedding I go to. And I love that about her. I was like, word. And the dress is beautiful. It's giving bridesmaid. It's giving, perfectly age appropriate for someone who is supposed to be that age as a bridesmaid, because you don't see old bridesmaids because
But she's still keeping it young though, and that's what I like.
Exactly. I'm about to say, did you see her hair? She had finger waves and it's up in the updo, and she is keeping it young and sexy. She's like that.
Mama, she's saying grandmother bitch right here.
Grandmother bitch. To circle back.
The circle back. She is doing it, and I love it. She even got the fabric from the dress on a cane. I'm just like, I live for it. She is a fashionable bridesmaid. She's the auntie of everybody, and she goes out there and she has the best time. And I love this. It looks good. I enjoyed it.
She looks like she spilled some wine on her dress at every wedding she's been to, but
Yep.
she has not taken it to the dry cleaner.
Nope,
I
because she
kinda love
just
that.
And that's what I love the most about this. I was like, it's giving very drunk woman
Yep.
spilling all over, but she's still wearing the same garment over and over.
Yep.
Mama, Farida Kant could never. No,
No, Farida did better.
no, Farida did better, but I'm saying like bridesmaid of Farida.
Oh, she's Farida's bridesmaid. Absolutely.
She's Farida bridesmaid.
At the vampire
just
wedding.
went and spilled the wine, Mama.
Her. Yes.
Period.
I thought this was lovely. This was my second favorite look of the night. I mean, Kiki is going to deliver. Kiki never
Absolutely.
missed on the runway.
never
That I can say confidently. Kiki never missed on the
wholeheartedly.
runway.
Oh wait, sunglasses. Was decent.
Oh no, her sunglasses are great.
Spoiler: her sunglasses look made my top 5 for top look of the year. Like it was up in my top 10 for sure. Go check out that video, available over there. But I loved this. I thought it was so fantastic. I love a Dior new school cut with this tool. Like that that is always going to be incredible for me. I love this. It's giving that glitter sculpted wig updo moment a little bit, which I'm hoping we leave in 2023. But she looks incredible nonetheless, and I absolutely am obsessed with her. So, scores.
Full.
80.
90.
95. Actually, no, 96.
Logan's like, dang it, I like being the middle score.
I know. One in the middle.
You could have done a 70.
No,
Not justice, but yes.
absolutely not. Next up, Nearah Nuff.
I love this.
She's
I
just a
love
sweet
this.
little Southern belle.
Let me tell you, I grew up with girls that look like this. I really did, because I know these girls. I went to school with these girls. Like I know them. I actually do love this. And I'm not even joking. Like I really did, because there were like people who played. Like I lived right next to a really like famous historic theme park. So like in my town I grew up in. So like there were people who dressed literally exactly like this, and they talked in like that good like Georgia peach Southern accent and put on that character. So I just love this. It reminds me of my childhood. It's so cute.
I think it's cute, yeah. But for me, I kind of got the vibe that this was like her low priority look. And it was more like, oh, I already have this. So how can I make it work? But yeah, she does look cute. I didn't love the wig, and I wish the hat matched the outfit better. But overall, I'm not mad.
Yeah. I live in Alabama now, and I've seen these girls. I went to school with these girls. I know them. I went to an all-girl college, and this is how they would want their weddings to be like when they married their beau from the military institute down the street. And they had their bridesmaids wearing these Southern Belle dresses with the parasols, and I hated it even then. And I was like,
Why can't we go back to the good old days?
yes, exactly. Because every time I see this look, I just think plantation. So it doesn't do good for me. It's triggering.
Yeah. Nope. I went to the same place.
It's very triggering for me. And I know I'm not saying that's Nearah. I'm just saying the look itself takes me back to a place in time where my people didn't do so well. So that's very triggering. But the dress itself, it's fine. I agree. I wish the parasol and the hat match with the dress more, because those are pink and the dress is absolutely peach. So I wish the peach was the hat and the parasol to go with the dress. I think it's all right. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite, but it's not my favorite.
I just wish if the hat and the parasol weren't going to match the dress, I wish it was a color that was very different
in the dress, or in the dress.
Different.
Oh, okay.
Or if it's going to be this dress, if this is the dress, I want the accessories to either be the same or something like, I would have loved if it was like a yellow hat and parasol, or like still in that like pastel, or like something along those lines. If you're not going to match directly,
it's
like
too close, but that's what too far away.
Exactly, it's too close for comfort for me personally. The gown itself, I mean, it doesn't look bad on her. It's not my favorite thing she's worn. It's not my favorite thing on this runway. But am I offended by it? I'm offended for Black people for this look. But I'm not offended by the look itself.
I will say she kind of does look like she's about to learn about the magic of Crisco and how it can fry some chicken in this. But
with her black maid, and they go to teach her how to make chicken the proper and correct way.
And this is not a reflection on Nearah Nuff as a human, because you like Nearah as a human.
It's just the time you just took me to. I'm sorry, Nearah. You took me there, and I have to talk about it.
She's the best friend in The Princess and the Frog.
Which is still the same thing. Takes me right back to the same place. I'm just saying. Big Daddy. Just saying. It took me right back to the same place. Okay.
That is a good movie.
That's a great movie. One of my
I'm going to amend my to circle back to our Disney movie conversation. I think actually my favorite Disney movie is
that'll be my second, or no, third.
Okay, so we're on par.
Yeah,
ish. Scores.
I'll give it like a good 75.
Okay.
I'll give it a 72.
I'll give it 70.
I'm like, what's the middle? No, I'm going to give it a 75.
Well, if you're not in the middle, you're always matching me.
Nope.
Yeah, because you go first in the order. Because
you're the same person.
I have to be the one to transition into now talking about Venus.
Venus.
Venus. Sorry, my bits. But no, this is everything. I really live for this. I think that the bottom half is a little bit plain, but I appreciate the layering that she did with the fabrics that she had. I do wish there were some flowers that were but I live for the top half of this look and I live for the wig. I just wish that there were some flowers that were dangling off the side, or there were some more incorporation of the flower into the bottom part of the look, but it all does match and it all is cohesive, so I'm not like overly mad about it to a point of like this look cannot be saved.
Yeah, I've been listening to the podcast each week, and I live for it every time because I hear you all multiple times when you talk about Venus. You're like, is it fashion or is she skinny? She's skinny. The look itself is not great. This is fashion, darling. I'm sorry. I love this. This is my favorite thing she's worn all season. If she got the win, it would have been because this bumped her up a level.
Yes, and she should have.
I mean, especially that wig. I can't believe I haven't seen a wig quite like this.
That's a hair hat wig.
It is perfect. That is
a hair
love
hat
that.
flower wig.
In the back piece, yeah. This was such a win for her. Love it.
This is the best I've seen Venus look. I'm so glad. I'm so thankful she put on clothes. And so I don't have to say, Venus, you're just relying on your perfect body that you don't have to wear clothes, because I'm like, usually that's what she does. She gives us a bra and panty and then wrap it around in some fabric and call it an outfit. And I'm like, girl, I need to see more that you could do things without being naked. And she did. This is stunning. I love the back piece. I love the wig. I agree with Dawn at the bottom half. It's a little basic. I wish it was a little bit more to that bottom half of it. I don't like the layering on the hip part of it, but I do think if she would have just added some more flowers on that bottom half, just go. But I get what she's doing because the bottom half is the stem of the flower, and I get it. I just like, give me some leaves off the stem, because the stem usually have leaves coming off on flowers. So give me some stems, give me some leaves or something. But this is as close to perfection as you can get when it comes to this look as flower. And I think this wig just sets it off. And then that back piece, she had to hold it at some points to make sure it was steady. I wish she didn't have to do that, but other than that, I love this.
I haven't pulled out this banner in a long time to use. And I think, thank you, David. You already know.
Right.
Because she did what needed to be done. I won't make David have to relive his let loose era. To circle back.
Okay. No, that's a whole nother podcast.
No, this is incredible. This is my favorite thing Venus has worn all season. Yes, we've been saying, is it fashion or is she skinny? And sometimes it's been fashion and sometimes it's been skinny, but this is fashion. This is so good. I'm really surprised we have not seen someone make a wig in the shape of a flower out of hair. Like, I'm really surprised. To my knowledge, I don't think we've ever had that.
Carrie? Colby? She said something similar. No, that was a headpiece, not a wig.
That was a headpiece. I'm saying hair hat wig in the shape of a flower out of hair. We've got a lot of flowers.
I bet the Lamaze girls have done it and we just haven't seen it.
Probably, honestly.
Probably.
And no one did it for the floral runway that they didn't they do one?
No, they did not. Nobody did a hair hat wig of flowers, but they did a lot of big flowers.
Big flowers.
Big flowers.
Yeah, this is incredible. I do agree with you, Lana. I wish she didn't have to hold the neck piece at certain moments, but honestly, there's not a whole lot structurally you can do other than just add more reinforcing inside of the actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to take off for that personally, because I think the garment, this is one of my favorite things I've seen on Drag Race in a minute. And if this ends up on my 2024 favorite looks list, I wouldn't be surprised. We'll just say that. I'm starting off early. I'm starting on the first of the year, making definitive statements, but I love this. So, scores.
I'm going to give this a solid full.
I'm going to give it a 91.
I'm actually going to give it a full cup for sure.
Kandala.
Okay, so it's not at Mugther level, but it's at Kandala. Okay.
It's Kandala for sure.
Mhm.
It's
Work.
Kandala, which is below Da.
Oh well,
Yeah,
then
it's like
then I will give mine a duh. If Don gave it a solid full, then I'm gonna give mine a duh, and then you give Kundala.
But
See,
did I like it
91.
more than you, Lana?
Yours, you like it more than me, I think.
But Da is above Kandala.
No, you just said
No.
Kundala is above duh.
Kandala is above Da.
So it's full, overflowing, TV leaking, Da, Kandala, Mugther.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did we
Kandala
finally
is
come up with the definitive list?
Nobody's gonna know what we're talking about.
Let me write down all of these rankings for things I would never give
To
out.
never use them. Yeah.
For future references. Well,
Right.
then
You know,
I
and
will.
there's probably gonna be 15 more that we come up with.
I'm about
Oh,
to say,
100%.
but,
Like,
well,
you
the
know,
TV's leaking. The
Where does
TV's
Fagther
leaking.
rank?
On par with
Who?
Mugther.
That's right. Fagther and
Yeah.
Mother.
Oh yeah, I'm fine, but I will never use that one.
That's fair.
So
Because she's an ally.
period.
ally.
I lie.
Ally.
But we move.
Next
Ugh.
up, Denim. Now, the reason I talked about Pythia earlier is because both of them it was one of them, and I don't remember which. But they were saying that the bodysuit that they used for the base garment for this is actually the same bodysuit Pythia wore on season 2 for the devil look. Yeah.
No. It just goes like that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I know, and I know what you're talking about. So
If I had a nickel for every time somebody wore the same bodysuit on Canada's Drag Race, I'd have 2 nickels.
I love recyclables. I love that. We can do that. But go ahead, Dawn.
It almost like in the way that it's structured, I love what she did here. It's very reminiscent of Willow Pill's Heart Runway, if you guys remember that, with the way that the garters are. I know like there's separate garters, but like, you know, the way that it's like, it kind of has a similar, I guess the way, because there's garters on there and the underwear falling down, it kind of gives me that. And they have a similar like style of drag, but I like what she did here. I like the pastels. I enjoy that she still has shape, and she was able to give herself shape by using tighter ones or smaller ones around her waist and bigger ones around her, around her waist, and then bigger ones around her hips. I thought that was a very like smart idea. I think she looks adorable here.
Yeah, I agree. This was definitely my number 2 of the night. I thought it was so smart, and I would expect nothing less from Denim, especially knowing her drag family. Denim has maybe been my favorite runway queen this season, and I haven't been here to give her all her props, but pretty much every week I'm like, "Come on, Denim, come on!" But yeah, I thought this was so smart, and she's just always a smart queen, so. Love it.
There's the reason Denim was my favorite and has been my favorite, and this is why. Because Denim gives you the theme, but Denim still is always Denim. Like she doesn't try to turn and be someone who she's not. She doesn't try to give us a runway of maybe I'll change it up and switch it up and give you this completely different side of it. No, Denim knows her point of view. This is what she does, and this was so good. I really, really enjoyed this very much. It was so smart. The concept of it all was smart. And it was like, yeah, all the garters of all the weddings that I've ever been through so many. I had enough to make a whole dress out of it. So it's kind of great. I love this concept. I love how she looks. She looks amazing. She looks stunning. Denim is always Denim. And for me, she has not missed on the runway.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't in love with her first look, but I would also agree with you that she hasn't had a miss on the runway. I wasn't the hugest fan of it. It was giving me ADHD overload. That's what it was for me with that first look. But regardless, this is stupid, and I love Denim. I love Denim so much. It's so well constructed. It's simple, and for a bridesmaid category, I wasn't expecting something this simple. But it was a lovely change of pace watching the runway, seeing this come out. I love that it's a bodysuit. I love that it like the way it's constructed is just so smart. I'm a big fan. So it's good.
again, like, there's like nothing I can really critique about it. So solid full.
I'll give it 87.
I'm gonna give it a Condola this time.
Ooh.
I loved it.
I'm gonna go full as well. And last up, even though David made sure to tell me that she was first on the runway, Mother Melinda Verga.
Now our private chat's coming out.
I'm exposing you. Circle back to the private chat.
Not the
It's just
private being public.
I take my notes based on the order that they come out. And I'm like, okay, we skip Melinda.
And
We don't always go in the same order, but everybody else was in the exact same order. So I'm like, wait.
And I put them in the order that the Canada's Drag Race Instagram had them. So blame Canada.
So Melinda Verga, she looks like a Gen X woman. Ready, like she looks like her name is Susan. She looks like she is about to go party it up, like, and she's ready to go see her girlfriends. Like, you know what I mean? Like at like a country club, and the theme was the Kentucky Derby, like, or like the wedding theme was like Kentucky Derby. That's what it's giving. And she found this that she wore on in her junior prom in the 80s, and she popped it on, and she said, "Hey, ladies," and she did nothing to her hair. That's what this is giving. And honestly, I can't be mad at it. I don't know why. Like, it's one of those, like, it's kind of like referential to the 80s, but in a fun way. Like, in a way of like, okay, yeah, the 80s had some crazy fashion choices, but obviously, like, she isn't even thinking about that at this time. She's just here to have a good time and party at a little Kentucky Derby cosplay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you here. I'm not mad at this. I know a lot of the people in Untucked are like, "Oh, your runway's gonna make you be in the bottom," whatever. No, but I thought it was fine for Melinda. Like, this is kind of like good for what I expect from her. She probably was the most literal with this theme. Even though I do kind of see the Kentucky Derby or like church lady hat. The hat was my favorite part, honestly. I really liked the hat. But she had fun with it. I had fun watching her. Was it amazing? No, but it worked.
So Dawn, this is how you see I would go to a wedding in this dress with this hat.
Am I being?
I'm asking, do you think this is how I would dress to go into a wedding with this hat?
No.
Because you just said Gen X woman going to a wedding in her hat, and that is all me.
Sorry, Gen X white woman.
Oh.
You needed to specify that.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't really have to.
I was like, am I being attacked right now?
Dawn's out here not being an ally to black women.
I felt attacked in your statement. You shouldn't feel attacked. I'm the victim here. I'm the victim here. You just called me.
Did I accidentally unintentionally attack someone?
You attacked me.
I mean, you and Melinda are like pretty close in age.
Me and Melinda?
No.
Lana and Melinda.
Wait, what? Oh.
I think 1 year apart?
Maybe.
I think so.
That's what I'm like. So this is what you think when I
Lana,
dress
I thought
up.
you were a millennial.
No, I'm very much a Gen Xer. But and that's fine. I happily accept my Gen X title and work.
But let me tell you, like, I love Gen X women. Like, I fully do. Like, I love hanging out with my mom's friends.
Dawn, you don't need to keep defending yourself, darling.
I'm not. No, like, I'm genuinely saying, like, those are my girls. Like, I get margs with my mom's friends when my mom isn't even there. Like,
her.
I mean, we are a good time.
We just talked
I will say, we are a good time because we don't care. We don't care about a lot of stuff.
You are. You definitely are. I can't speak for every Gen X woman.
Well, I'm a good time. Period. This dress though, this is very much the 80s. This is the 80s wedding aunt of the bride. You know, like you said, just there to have a good time. Susan is there with the girls. She's like, I just want to come get a drink. Her name is Susan. That's what Dawn named her. That's her name. And Susan came.
Whitney is rolling over the grave. Right
Well, I mean, they speak French in Canada.
Sure.
This
But-
is why this podcast has been 2 hours.
And it's great. She looks fine.
I gotta
Move.
pee,
She looks
y'all.
fine. She looks fine. We
Go
move.
pee.
I was like, "Okay, turn your camera off."
like,
Go pee.
I'll elaborate on Melinda's look while I got you. Don't worry. See,
Nobody said
I
go
was
piss girl.
Go piss girl. I thought I was prepared to come into this podcast to fully be the only person to defend this look from Melinda. So I'm happy that we're all kind of on the same page here. It makes me really happy. I loved this. I do agree with you, David. I think she took the category a little bit literally.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really not mad at that because that's kind of the drag we've gotten from Melinda this season. Is like she's gonna do what the runway requires. Is it extravagant and over the top? Not always, but it's always her looks have been solid. It's not always the look that I've had the issue with Melinda in the competition.
Makeup.
It's the makeup.
Of course, it's
Yeah.
the makeup, and her makeup has gotten better as evident by her her Instagram and her social media, and she knows it here. Upon watching it back, I love the hat. I think the color on Melinda too is so gorgeous. I love this red color on her. The way that the tulle is kind of built into this skirt. It's a lovely length. It's very Kentucky Derby. It's all the things that we've already said. It's there, and I'm happy I'm not the only one here that liked it. Scores.
I'm gonna give like a good 89.
I gave it a 73.
I'm giving it 85, actually.
88. Like, I do enjoy it.
For her and what her POV as the artist, this is
Yeah.
what I expect from her. So I'm okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I want the queens to be who they are, even if it's not my cup of tea. I want you to be who you are, and that's who she is.
And I would say it's on the better side of what I expect from her.
Right.
Oh, your pride. I'm the Lulu at this point. I'm sorry, y'all.
We know.
We move.
We move. We have a winner of the
Yep.
challenge.
Yep.
And some of us might
Controversial.
agree, some of us definitely don't, but the winner of this challenge is Aurora Matrix.
Don't agree, but sure.
Don't agree. Now,
But sure.
who would we all have had as the winner then?
Nearah.
Nearah.
Venus.
Absolutely.
Venus.
Venus.
No.
Venus.
Yeah,
Nearah should've
I
won.
messaged her on Instagram, and I don't know if she'll ever see it, but I'm like, Nearah, I am going to fight for you on the podcast. And I know she's watched this before. She watched our Meet the Queens. But if you're there, Nearah, hey, we see you. We
Nearah.
see
I'm
you.
about to say no.
Hello, Nearah's fiance.
And no need to fight.
Beyonce.
No need to
Nearah's-
fight. I'm about to say there's
Right.
no need to fight, Nearah. We all agree you should have won. Well,
we did.
most of us did.
But it wasn't Aurora's fault that she won.
No.
So-
Am I fundamentally mad at the fact that Aurora Matrix has 2 wins right now? No. Do I think she should have won this challenge? Also no. But the fact that she has 2 wins, great. I'm happy to see that personally because I like Aurora Matrix.
Mhm.
And I
She
think
feels
won.
like she should have 2 by now.
Right, but the wins have been so dispersed.
Right.
There are I think 6 people with a win,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and 2 of them have
Been Aurora.
gone home.
They had to
Yep.
go home.
So
Yep.
And
And
one
in a
is still
season-
here without a win.
One is still there without a win. Mm.
Can I just say, can we count like that was like a shared win in episode 1? Sure, she didn't win the lip sync, but she was
But she won the challenge, right?
No, she was top 2.
But they
top two.
said it's for the
kind
win.
of a win.
Yeah, but she
But-
lost the lip sync for the win, which means she didn't win the challenge.
She didn't get the prize.
Sure.
Okay, but she also
But-
didn't. According to the fandom wiki, it is
Wiki,
top.
it's not- we're so sick of the fandom wiki always telling
Look,
us what to do.
I'm so
Fandom
happy that
wiki.
you love Denim as much as me because
Me too.
she's been my favorite pretty much.
My
since
favorite.
started.
Hi. Also, Denim fan here. It's not like Dawn and I have
She
been
the
here
number one?
shitting on Denim all season.
Nobody said you
No.
were. Can he compliment me without including you?
No.
This is you white gays thing. That's what you white gays do. You always try to take credit when it's not even about you. He was giving a black woman some credit and a compliment, and you have to come in and snatch away my compliment. I can't have anything. I can't. Black women, we can't have nothing around white gays. I'm just saying.
If I get hate on social media for this, Lana, that's
Wrong. Damn. You will not. Do not send hate to Logan. I love Logan with my whole heart and soul. Do not do it. This is all playing. And Don is dead. I don't know what's happening over there.
Don died.
Venus.
R.I.P.
Don died.
Venus.
But do not send
Shoppers
hate to
drug
Logan.
mart.
Logan is an amazing person, and I love him with my whole heart and soul.
Thank you.
Gen X white woman named Susan.
Period. Period.
Circling back.
Circling back to the episode that we've allegedly been here 2 hours talking about.
Let's circle back to the winner is
They could
Aurora,
have
and
watched
then the
this
bottom
episode twice instead of just watching us recap it at this point.
Exactly.
Absolutely, but they love
Because
us,
we
so
provide
they're gonna
black
do that.
entertainment.
Maybe I shouldn't come back because I'm making this last a lot longer than it usually would.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Wow.
The bottom two.
Is Denim and Kiki Coe. We already told y'all who our bottoms would have been.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom two, according to the judges today on this occasion, were Denim and Kiki Coe, lip syncing to a fabulous song that I put on my playlist immediately as soon as the episode was over. 7 Day Fool by July Black.
Such a good song.
It's a good song. So soulful for a Drag Race
Mhm.
lip sync song. And I was like, oh, I love it. I was like, ooh, this is great. No black people to be had to lip sync to this song, unfortunately. Now, here's what I'm going to say about this lip sync. I don't think this lip sync was bad. I thought they both were very entertaining. For me, I would have had Kiki Coe as the winner. But by a small enough margin to where I would have also recognized that she was the weakest in the challenge. And I don't think her being the stronger person in the lip sync, for me, would have outweighed that. And so I ultimately did still agree with the decision that was made at the end of the episode. But I enjoyed this lip sync. I thought they were good.
This is also technically Denim's first time in the bottom, and I think she did well enough to stay with Kiki having the worst track record to where it made sense to have Denim stay.
Also, I thought for the most part the lip sync was pretty close. Like I thought it was pretty even, but then I did notice like Kiki missed some words. So for me, I would not have given Kiki the win because she missed some words. So yeah, Denim was my winner.
Okay.
I ain't like this lip sync.
Oh, okay.
It lacked flavor. It lacked in all sorts of the word. Denim was so off rhythm. It was bad. And Kiki was just flipping the dress, just flinging the dress around. It was so bland. I just, like, it didn't go with the song. The performance from both of them were kind of just, I wasn't, like, I was jamming to the song, wanting to jam with them in this lip sync, wanting to feel this lip sync, and they gave me the blandest lip sync I've ever seen in anything, and I was just like, nah, not with this song. This song is so good. Like, it was. Denim was just, I think she was just like, she was so spastic in her moves.
Denim performed this song the way that Denim would perform any song. And that was kind of my issue with it. Is like, this song doesn't require splits and like silky slams. Like, I don't need that.
I mean, but then she was giving us hard dips. And it was, yeah.
It was just like the the stunts for this, and that's why I preferred Kiki's performance.
It could have went either way for me. I was just kind of like, because I saw Kiki miss and I saw Denim dancing weird, but either way it could have went. And the judges decided the way they decided, and I was like, okay, cool, cool. That was it.
And it does mean that Kiki's gone.
I hate to lose her fashion. I hate to lose her fashion
For one episode.
For one episode. Whatever though.
I can't say it's undeserved, unfortunately. I can't. I'm not. Yeah, like it's really unfortunate. But we're at the point of the competition where everyone is strong.
Mhm.
Kiki gave winner vibes for me.
Mm,
She's really. I really thought she was going to win this season.
Well, she didn't. She came
Preseason, I might have said yes, but then once I saw her in the actual show, I was like, oh, maybe not winner vibes. Maybe
Right.
she's. I thought she would get to the finale vibes, but I didn't think she would win.
I'm also gonna say, and this is no shade to production or anybody specifically, I can tell that there's a very specific vibe and type of winner that production is trying to crown this season.
It's narrowed down to 2 people.
It's narrowed down to 2 people for me.
I think it's, like with trends when it comes to Drag Race winners, usually it's kind of a wild card for season 1, but it's usually somebody who overall represents the country of Canada in case they don't get a season 2. Season 2 is usually somebody who kind of follows up in that route as somebody who can represent the entire country and is kind of an all-rounder, whereas season 3 usually is somebody who's a little bit outside of the box from what the last 2 were, but can still represent a specific scene. And I think that's what this production specifically, they're trying to have a younger winner to be in there, kind of like a Crystal Versace or a Raja.
Raja?
Not younger, a fashion queen. Like
you said younger and did not mention fashion.
Younger fashion.
I knew what you were going for there.
You know what I meant, though? Like someone who gives the next generation of drag.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone who brings out something new in drag. And that's what I think we got from someone like, I think Giselle brought out a different side of drag. Or like for season 3, the winner of season 4, who we will not name, of regular drag of US Drag Race.
I was like, we're already not going to name her, and we don't know who it is.
Of regular Drag Race.
Well, I've said Violet as an example 3 times to what Dawn was saying, and Dawn refuses to acknowledge.
I did not hear you say Violet once. It's just
I said Violet 3 times, my darling.
Well, Violet Chachki as an example. Things like you know what I'm trying to say.
Because Flower, because Venus, circling back. Venom. Venus. That's also a circle back.
So on that, who do we think is going to win the season?
Well, I do have thoughts overall and on the question, but for me, I actually think this is a very even top 5 because they all have like their own strengths, but they're all missing something. I kind of alluded to that earlier, but I do not see that the producers are letting us see how even it is because they clearly have 2 favorites. I would be shocked if Venus or Aurora do not win. It's going to be one of those 2. I will be completely floored if it's not one of those 2. But all 5 of them have been very solid throughout. But yeah, if I had to guess, I think Aurora is going to win.
I agree with you there. I think it's Aurora, but I think that Venus is up there as well. I think that's my top 2 in terms of everyone, even though I would love to see Melinda win as well. Like,
the 2 they've been overlooking their flaws.
Well,
they have not been pointing out theirs.
I'm going to be real honest. If Melinda makes it past next week, she deserves the crown. Because next week is the makeover challenge. And I love Melinda Verga with every fiber of my being and existence. God. If she makes it past the makeover, it's because somebody else royally fucked up.
She could lip sync her way there. She really could.
I don't even know if a lip sync will bring her there, honestly.
I am praying for Mother Melinda.
I don't think she's making it past next week.
I'm ready for that Denim win.
I think that could.
I can see that 100%.
Scarlet Bobo her way to the finale.
I can see it. I also we're getting a classic Loved Ones makeover challenge, which I think is very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to be very emotional, a la Survivor Family Visit next week, and I'm very excited for that. I think it's going to be very lovely and wonderful. But before we go, for the 2 people here that care, because 2 people aren't even in this draft, we do have a draft update. And our dear darling resident Canadian Anissa Long is officially out of the draft now. Coming in 4th place with 29 points after losing Kiki in this episode. Dawn, you are holding on strong to 3rd place, and you are now guaranteed at least 3rd place.
Bronze.
With 43.5 points. Esme, who I will once again mention, has not been on the podcast once this season to talk about Canada's Drag Race, is currently in 2nd place with 62 points. And I am currently in the lead with 74 points.
Ooh.
So I have a sizable lead currently, and I'm very excited about it. But
Who's your team?
I have Aurora, Venus, and Melinda.
So everybody that's still in.
I'm the only person with a full team.
Yeah, I have Girlfriend, Kitten, and Nearah.
And then Esme has Aurora, Denim, and Amy. And Anissa had Kiki, Luna, and Cece. Not an overall strong team. But on that note, we're going to get out of here because we spent 2 hours talking about an episode that we probably shouldn't have spent 2 hours on. But thank you so much for joining us. It was very fun. If you were entertained by this podcast episode, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Clicking the like button, sharing with your friends that are also watching for Mother Melinda Verga, and everybody on this beautiful cast. And the YouTube thanks is down below if you want to support us monetarily. We do greatly appreciate it. And every dollar goes right back into making this podcast. Make sure to subscribe to both of our other channels as well for almost all things reality TV and almost all things Eurovision Song Contest. And you can make sure to follow our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Lots of moments from this episode coming to social media very soon. There are a lot of moments from this episode that we can put on there. So make sure to follow so you see what makes it there. You can also go follow the 4 of us down in the description below. Go watch Dawn on Twitch because she's doing that over there too. And you can go get your merch, including but not limited to the cup mug, available in the description below. So with all that being said, cheers.
Cheers.
Venus.
Poutine.
Shoppers Drug Mart.
Maple syrup.
Circling back.
Denim.
Back.
Moose.
Haircuts.
Jada Shada.
Jeans.
Backpacks.